Yeah, it's crazy to sometimes think like, what can happen if we decide, I'm going to see what happens when I decide that I am qualified. What happens when I decide for myself that I'm going to do something different? You know, one thing, Jocko Willink was in here last week, and one thing that's really been pressing with me that we discussed is staying motivated. And I have been finding myself more motivated, even when I do not feel like doing something, to do it. That my brain doesn't dictate how. My brain does not get to choose. My brain can feel a certain way, but it's not going to choose how I behave all the time. I just can't let it do it anymore. I'm going to have setbacks, I know. But if I'm feeling bad, that doesn't mean I'm doing bad. That doesn't mean I am bad. That doesn't mean that I can't still take some action. Because, nothing changes and nothing changes, man. We'll sit around forever wondering, well, what if I was a dog catcher? Would I be the best? What if I was you don't know. Until you say, I'm going to take action. Nothing changes if nothing changes, man. And I'm not preaching at you. I'm just, I just want to remind you, because, I've spent a lot of time in my life sitting around wanting things to change. And not being able to make them change, and not thinking I could. And I wish somebody had told me that earlier sometimes. That in order for something to change, there needs to be change.
Yeah, it's not nice. But at the same time, every single month that you do, or every single 6-month segment that you do, especially when I say to you guys, work on 3 things at once. If you do that for 6 months, or if you just focus on 5 things for 5 years, like I've said these things to you guys before, and you just continuously keep knocking on the door, and you fight through the lack of motivation, at some point down the line, that's going to increase. And you're going to see results. You're going to look in the mirror. You're going to start to see the possibility of an end goal. Okay, and I think a lot of you guys out there are really struggling to get started or even do anything because you're waiting for that surge of motivation. You're waiting for it to hit you. And you might watch a motivational video and you get one day out of it. It's not enough. Okay, you need to come to terms with the fact that you're going to be pretty demotivated when you're at the bottom. Because I was. I felt like shit. I couldn't get any women. I didn't have any money. You're always in debt. You're always like, it's hard. It's not nice. It sucks. That's all it is, guys. It's just a game of doing first and getting the motivation secondary. Now, nobody expects you to be some fat, ugly, just low-level, no-money guy and being like, I'm going to make things happen this year, I can't wait. That's like a David Goggins real rarity that it just hits you. But what you got to do is say, my life is shit. I feel like I'm going nowhere. I've not figured any of this out. I feel terrible about myself and my situation. But I trust the process, because you look at people like myself and you see where I was and where I am now. And surely you must look at that and think, okay, it's possible. Well, I'm going to do something towards that. Now, do I think I can get the same results? I don't know. Do I think this is going to work? I don't know. Am I wasting my time? I don't know. But just do blindly. Just go and do. Okay, so you wake up in the morning, I'm demotivated. I can't be bothered. But I'm just going to go to the gym. Like, you're demotivated. Great, so was I. So was I yesterday, and I still went. And the day before, and I still went. And I got there from going demotivated, feel like shit, but I'm going to do it anyway and just see where I end up. And that's what you're doing. You're walking in the dark. You're walking blindly forwards until you can see a little bit of light. Okay? It's like sometimes you'll be playing sports. I used to play football matches, and I used to keep sprinting. And I didn't know why. Or maybe losing 2-0, and I was like, It's fucking raining, I'm cold, I've got better shit to be doing, I could be at home working on my business, I could be living in a different country right now, but I kept sprinting around trying to, make something happen. End of the game, I've scored the third goal. I remember one game I'm actually picturing right now, I scored 2 in that game, and we won 3-2, and I got a header I played well, my finishing was off though, and I scored a header in like the last second of the game, and we won 3-2. And I thought, that's why you keep going. That's why you keep running around. So now after the game, I'm super motivated. Can't wait for next week. I'm going to do some training in the week. Yeah, because of the high that it's given you. But prior to that, I felt like shit, felt demotivated. Oh, I want to quit. But you just keep going. And that's the key, guys. If you start to get sloppy, where you just sit around the house, you don't get a haircut, you let your beard grow out, you're not showering every day or whatever, you're getting lazy, you're not tidying the house, you're not making your beds. It's these little things where you start to get this low sense of motivation where you're just like, oh, what's the point? Oh, I'll just hop back in the same bed. You've got to keep things on point. It's like cleaning your car on the inside and outside. If it looks good, you're probably more likely to want to go and drive around and, and see people and whatever. If you look good, you're probably more likely to want to go on a date, meet a woman. If you look good naked, you're probably more likely to want to have sex, which is going to lead to approaching women, feeling confident about yourself. If you're in good shape, you're probably more likely to want to go to the gym to maintain it. And this is what people forget. And like I said, I'll get to that point in the morning, and then I'll sit at my desk and I'm like, oh, it's going to be a lot of work. It's a lot. As soon as, like right now, making this video, I am 19, 20 minutes in roughly. I feel like I want to do another 100 videos. I feel like I want to do nothing but work. And that's how it begins. You just do the first part of your day. You try and do the hardest part first. You put some daily points on the board. You do something each day where you go, that's driven me forward. That's pushed me forward. That can lead me to a better place in a year. I can be proud of what I've done today. And once you've done one thing, you'll see the rest just start trickling. It's like a domino effect. You just push one and everything. It's like a catalyst for everything else that you do that day. Or if you've got good habits, you feel better about yourself. So if you woke up in the morning, you went to the gym, you went for a run, you came back, you ate clean, I would say you're probably 10 times more likely to do a full day's work off the back of that. I think if you woke up in the morning and you ate 3 donuts and had a milkshake, I would bet big money that you're way more likely to do fuck all for the rest of that day. You're probably gonna, even if you do some work, you're probably gonna finish early and be watching fucking Disney. I would put big money on that, and that becomes a habit. Okay, like I said. So you tick all these boxes, you clean your house. Do you know what I mean? There's dishes lying around, the house smells, you've got to take the bins out. Do it. Get it done. Okay? Because it does something to this. It makes you start thinking, I'm a high-level man. I don't like using that term, but I am a high-level man. You start thinking to yourself, I'm the type of guy who gets things done, who has a clean house, who lives in a certain way. Like I told you guys before, the other side of male life. If you frame yourself in a certain way, and you conduct yourself in a certain way, and your life and yourself is reflective of somebody who is super high level, who accomplishes things in life, you're probably going to act in that way. And I'm telling you from experience, if my house is dirty, I do not work as hard. I go and clean my whole house, I make it smell good and whatever, and I'm motivated to work. I'm motivated to add some more points on the board because I'm like, how far can I push this? What else can I do in life? Like success makes you want to bring more success. And that's where your motivation will come from. Like if you're in a sports team that's winning, you want to keep playing, you want to keep winning. You're all at training on a Wednesday. You got to remember that. Success, good habits, motivation, it's a pattern. That's where it comes from. You just keep doing these good habits even when you don't want to, every single day. And eventually it will add up to points on the board, and then it becomes